When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your A game.
Here we go again.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So today I don't have any video or particular article to read or anything like that. It's just, I got to talk to ladies because, you know, what we're talking about is how women tell men that women are worthless, right? How specifically Black women like to tell men about the value that they don't have. And they think that it's a flex to tell men about what they won't do, all of the things that they won't do. And it's so detrimental to you. And I want to try to get the young ladies to stop doing that, because the older 304s, and even if they wasn't 304s, just stupidly buying into feminist rhetoric and stuff like that, don't follow in the footsteps of the older generation of women. My generation, even some of the boomers, some of the older millennials, like, don't follow them, because these women have a wayward way of thinking that has not served them well at all in life, in no way, shape, or form, other than to be a thought. That's the only way that this mindset serves. If you want to be a thought, then you got to think like this. But what I'm really talking about is telling men what you won't do on a constant basis. You constantly talk about the tasks that you refuse to perform because you're too good to do it, and because these tasks are seemingly menial, they seem to be beneath you, they seem to be something that you would never ever do. And we got to start talking about stuff that we think we too good for. You're not too good to cook a dinner, and you're not too good to clean something. And I don't know where we get this super entitled thing at, especially in America. All of us have not been living some kind of royalty life. Most of us have been living very, very average lives financially, if not in poverty. Some of us have been in poverty. Others of us who may not have quite been impoverished, you were average. You grew up average. There are only a very, very, very small percentage of Black women who grew up in wealth. You know, the type of wealth where you would have a maid or a nanny or a personal chef or something like that. It's very, very few. Most of us have grown up in average households where you couldn't afford that type of luxury anyway. So I'm trying to figure out where we suddenly get these types of thought patterns about what we too good to do and what we not too good to do, when a lot of y'all work these very menial jobs that you're at, cashier work, you know, hospitality work, serving food, things of that nature. And I'm not downing those positions, because in the society that we live, we need those positions. Somebody got to flip a burger. Somebody got to, you know what I'm saying, mop a floor or whatever. So I'm not denigrating that type of work, but I'm saying, how can you go and be a Walmart greeter and then tell a man what kind of plate you're not going to make, as if you were too good? Because if you were lofty, you wouldn't be a Walmart greeter or a cashier, or, you know what I'm saying, some kind of little social worker working, pushing pencils somewhere, telling people no all the time. So you wouldn't be doing that. But let me continue on really what I really want to say. When you talk about the task that you're not going to perform, because you're too good for it. The reality is you're telling men why the men should not waste their time. Okay? You're telling men about how men should never waste their time on you, spend time with you, take time for you. You're telling him I'm not worth anything. You're telling him don't spend no toll on me. Things that are valuable to him, don't give them to me because I don't have any value and I don't add any value. And I'm coming to you with the intention of not adding anything to you. You're telling him that he don't need to assess no trouble because you're not worth what it takes to resolve any of the problems that you have. And you certainly not worth the threat that you carry or him trying to decrease or remove your threat. And this kind of harkens back to the live stream that I did with about the wife that was talking about she didn't want to do no dishes and stuff, and she wanted her husband to hire a maid. See, the fatal flaw with thinking like that is that she's basically telling her husband, I am extremely replaceable. I am so disposable to you that you can pick up any woman off of the street to do the stuff you want me to do in this house. That's what you really telling men. And this is why I titled it the way that I did. You're telling men that you're worthless. You're telling men that you're disposable. You're telling men that you don't have any particular value. You don't have anything specific that you can give him or share with him, or that he can take only from you, or that it would be difficult for him to find it in other women. When you tell men, oh, you can get a maid, or you can get a cook, or you can get your mama to do it, or what you really telling him is, I'm not special. I'm not special to you. I'm of no particular value to you. Any woman can do what I do. Anybody off of the street can do what I do. So when anybody off of the street can fulfill your needs to the extent that I would, or better than me, because I refuse to do it, then you have no reason to have me in your life. There's no reason to have me in your life. Right? What you do is not of value. Therefore, you aren't worth any trouble or energy. And if all of the desired functions that he want out of you can be outsourced to any old chick, Jane Doe off the street, then you render yourself useless to him. And then this is when men start using you for sex. This is when that happens. This is when he pulls back away from you. This is when, because you open up with that, you open up the getting to know you phase with everything that you are not going to do for this man, with this man. Okay? That's when he ignores you. That's when you get X'd out in his mind. And that's when he starts just coming forward to get some top. He just come to you to get a lay. He just come to you to, you know what I'm saying, get something small. He'll keep dipping back into that well until you tell him no, or until he gets tired. And that's when you start feeling played. That's when y'all start feeling like he playing with y'all. And the reality is, he's not so much playing with you as it is you told him, I don't have a value beyond this, if the sexual attraction is enough. If it's enough. You telling him, I don't have any intention on assisting you in any way. Not even the simplest things I'm not going to do. Laundry is simple. Dinner is simple. Cleaning up the house is simple. Having a kind word for him is simple. Massaging him if he's sore and stuff like that is simple. All of these things are simple things, simple ways that you can show value to a man. They don't want that much. They know they can outsource that stuff, but they rather not. They rather have a woman that's willing and ready to do that, and then he just, whatever he get, he share with her and let that be that. That's the simplest way to go about it. And women make that increasingly difficult for men to do, which is why he says, you know what? I'm not bothering to offer you the fullness and the fulfillment of a relationship. Why should I do that? You offer me nothing. So I'm not going to give you anything in return. But, you know, a hard Johnson and some bubble gum, and I ain't got no gum in my pocket. You can have that. You can have that all day or until I get tired of giving it to you, because trust and believe, there are men that get tired of that. There are men who find it as equally unfulfilling, just the transaction. That's why they start looking for wives. That's why they start looking for women that add more to them than that, because they get tired of the transaction too. It's unfulfilling for them too. Even though they physically built to have more than one woman, men also want the emotional connection, because he wants to draw femininity from her, and you can't get that in a transaction. Or you get that in such limited fashion that it doesn't mean anything. Okay? So when he sees that you add no value and you saying out of your mouth, I'm worthless to you, then that's what it actually means to be unworthy. He's not making you unworthy. You're making yourself unworthy to him. You're unworthy of what? A good, healthy relationship with men of value. So you squander away your value in his eyes. The thing he wants, you refuse to give, really out of spite. Really, you refuse to give it because feminism told you not to give a man no quarter. Don't give no man no quarter. Don't give him no comfort. Don't make him feel like he's wanted or needed or necessary in this relationship. You got to always do everything that make him feel on his toes or not quite sure in a relationship. And there's nothing worse in a relationship than to feel unsure of your position. That creates an insecurity. It's not that the men are coming to the relationship being insecure. You create instability. Women can create instability in the minds of men. And while it's not always quite as detrimental to men as it is to women, because we come into relationships seeking stability, men come into relationships providing stability, but there's also that emotional instability that women put off on men, making him not so sure about your position and how invested you are, makes him pull back and be like, well, I don't know how invested I should be because this woman is not even emotionally here. She doesn't invest anything. She doesn't do anything, right? So the thing that he wants out of you, the simplest things, the simplest ways of support, you actually don't give it out of spite, okay? And the things that he hates, you offer them in abundance with pride. You're proud to say what you're not going to do. So all of your trouble that you attempt to present as honorable or as something valuable that he should actually accept, or a thing that he should desire, when in fact they turn him off completely. This is how you get in positions with men over and over and over that just end up, the relationship seem like it's gonna be a relationship. It's not that he lied to get, the men aren't lying about giving you a relationship just to get sex. Sex is too easy nowadays. Maybe 50 years ago that was the case, but not now. Sex is too easy to get from any random thought. So that's not what it is. He's coming to you talking about relationships because that's what was on his mind. When you started telling him how worthless you were, that's when a potential relationship turned into a situationship where he just come get sex. That's when it turned into that. That's when he stopped giving you 4Ps. He stopped doing it, right? And this comes about when you tell him you're independent, you're strong, you can make it without him, you don't need him, you're not going to support him in any type of way, you're not going to do anything for him. And basically what you're saying to him is, I'm nothing to you but perhaps sex if the attraction is there. I offer you nothing of value, therefore you're free to dismiss me or use me until your carnal desires are satisfied or whatever, and then you can throw me away. That's what you really telling men. You can throw me away. And a man of value is either gonna completely avoid you, he gonna completely avoid you, and you're not gonna be able to land that man, the man that you want. Right? So sound off in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, The Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next.